All right, and we are on to day 14 of 30 days of Q&A. And today we're going to be answering a question that came in from Ferreira S. My biggest challenge right now when it comes to reaching the next level of music career is that my existing listeners and readers are familiar with my voice, style, communication, etc. I want to make sure that my authenticity remains consistent throughout everything I'm doing. And my biggest question is, how do I bring even more value to people who are already seeing my posts and streaming my music so that they feel like what they're paying for is an investment in themselves? The last thing I want is for the people that I'm building a relationship with to feel like I'm just trying to sell them something. But still, there's the need for sustainability. I need to make an income. Hopefully that makes sense. So what I really appreciate about this question, Ferrer, and the way that you phrased it, and the reason that I know you're on the right track, is because you're asking the right question, which is, how do I provide more value for my listeners? Another way you could phrase that question is, how do I make money with my music? How do I monetize my music? And I'll tell you that a huge amount of questions that came in from our 1,500 questions were around this idea of how do I make money? How do I monetize my music? But the way that you phrased it, I think is really part of the key in order to do this successfully, which is really reframing it to not necessarily what do I get from it, how do I make more money, how do I provide more value, and how do I make sure that it's coming across to my fans so they're actually getting value and that they're happy with what they're investing in. So later on in the series, I'm going to do a deep dive into music NFTs because I think that this is actually one way that you can create a sustainable source of income with your music, and it's something I'm really excited about. But for today, I want to actually share a resource and something that you've been using for years now, which is just a big brain dump of all these different types of offers and different things that you can create that are valuable for your fans that are going to allow you to actually monetize your music and do it full time. So the bottom line is the number one thing that you want to do is actually have conversations with your existing audience, with your fans, and ask them, what are you most interested in? And maybe you come with them with some ideas and you say, hey, I'm thinking about X, Y, Z. Which of these would you be most interested in? Which would be most valuable for you? But if you approach it from a standpoint of genuinely wanting to know, how can I provide more value for you? Then they'll tell you what you can do and what they're interested in. And so I think ultimately the best way that you can serve your audience is by having this open line of communication where you're trying to figure out what do they actually value, what do they actually want, and that way when you're creating something for them, you know that it's in line with what they're asking for. That being said, I think this is going to be really helpful dive into a brainstorm of different types of things you can offer. And these are all based on experience. These are things that we help our artists with to offer to their fans. And we have some artists who are making 7 figures per year with their music and dozens that are making 6 figures a year with their music using this model. So I think that hopefully this will help to spur some ideas in terms of what can you actually offer in addition to your music and your social media posts in order to make an income. So one really valuable exercise, we call this creating your value ladder, is brainstorming what are your different offers at these different price points. Because let's say that actually you don't have anything to offer except for your free content or your streaming, which you get paid less than a penny per stream, then your value per acquisition is going to be really low because the maximum that someone can pay you is pennies per stream, as opposed to if you have offers that are at the high end, that are $1,000, $5,000, even $10,000 or more per offer, then there's a much higher ceiling on the value that you can provide to your fans and the amount of income that you can generate. So I would highly recommend going through this and brainstorming for you, what are some ideas at these different price points that you can offer? So on the free level, this might just be your music. And technically you get paid based on streams for your music, but I recommend thinking about that as more of a cherry on top because it is such a small amount for most artists. Another thing you can do is you can do free contests and giveaways. And that's a great way to bring people in your community, provide extra value. Your street team, so this can be your free community where you do those giveaways, you connect with them, you do private posts just for them, maybe they get early access to new music videos, and they get street team only live streams. And then one thing I would definitely recommend in this low ticket price point is some sort of free plus shipping offer. And so we call this your starter pack. And basically the idea is that you say, hey, these are normally $20 on my merch store. And as a thank you for joining my community, I want to offer you one for free. All I would ask is that you cover the shipping and handling for it. Is that something you'd be interested in? And then I recommend charging around $7 for shipping and handling for it. The goal with the starter pack offer is to help liquidate some of the ad spend that it costs to reach those people. In some cases, we have artists who are actually making a profit with their starter packs alone. So they're liquidating their ad spend and making a profit with it. But that's pretty rare. Usually I would recommend just using this as a way to provide value on the top end and to optimize your ads and to bring people in. And So that's your starter pack offer. I recommend including things that are flat so they can ship in an envelope. So it's very cheap to fulfill. So these are things like an autographed picture, a fridge magnet. You can just Google each of these. You can find your own. You can make your own list. But the idea is that you want to include some sort of autographed picture, maybe a fridge magnet, stickers, guitar pick is pretty cool, like a custom guitar pick, and potentially even a handwritten note for only the first 100 people. For your VIP upgrade, this is something around the $50 price point. You might include a t-shirt or a hat, or poster, CD, handwritten lyrics. You could give them a virtual VIP meet and greet to a show. You might give them a VIP lanyard where it basically lets them get some sort of special status. And there's a bunch of other ideas for types of merchandise you can create. The next tier up is we recommend having an inner circle. And so this is like a Patreon where you have a different tier. You can either have different tiers of access for the subscription, or if you're just starting out, you might just start with one tier of your inner circle subscription. And maybe they get a year access to your inner circle. They get an exclusive t-shirt, a signed poster, or VIP Platinum Pass. They get private monthly live streams. Maybe you go live on Zoom once a month just for your inner circle people. Maybe when they come out to shows, they automatically get upgraded to VIP meet and greets, which is a huge value add since a lot of times VIP meet and greet tickets can go for hundreds of dollars alone. So I'm a big fan of this inner circle idea. And then, the next tier up, if you're starting to look at that premium end, the high end of the market, then I would recommend thinking about including some sort of weekend retreat where your fans can actually come out in person. Maybe they come out to a studio to hang out with you. Maybe they get to be in a music video or record on a song. They have to do snaps and claps. And just in general, you create some sort of adventure for them to go on. Maybe you go skydiving together with them. You could have an Airbnb and meals. You could cook for them or cook with them. But these are things that are really priceless, right? This is an experience. And easily, you can charge $1,000 for a weekend retreat like this, if not more. So at this level, we're starting to get to a point where essentially you can set the price for these different things. Who's to say that this is worth $1,000 or $3,000 or $5,000? Based on the right person, it certainly could be worth $3,000 or $5,000. There's certain fans who do cruise ship getaways like this that cost tens of thousands of dollars. Don't make the mistake of thinking you need to be famous or you need to have hundreds of thousands or millions of fans in order to do these. We have artists that are starting essentially from scratch who bring in 200, 300 people into the community through their ads. And with 250 people in their straight team, they've made 2 or 3 of these high ticket sales already to new fans, right? So you don't necessarily have to have millions of fans in order to do these high ticket offers. You can just have a few hundred as long as you're doing a good job of connecting and building a relationship with those people. So then another thing that is a great high end offer is a custom song. So this could be, you're going to write a song for them, a friend or a family member. You could even do a custom co-writing experience where you write the song together or they get to be a part of it. It could be a great gift for a wedding or anniversary or a birthday or something special like that. That's a great higher end offer. Another offer is doing some sort of songwriting or mentorship. This is a big one. So you can meet over Zoom for about an hour every other week for 3 months, for example. Maybe they actually get the ability to contact you personally on Voxer or on a platform that you could either give them your personal phone number or you could have a separate platform that's just for them to be able to connect with you personally. And you could either help them write songs or give them some sort of private life coaching or mentorship. I think this is a big opportunity. Another one is doing private parties or weddings. So this was definitely one of the most lucrative and profitable things that we would offer with Paradise Fears, and also the thing that just provided so much value for people. Like it was really great being able to connect with our fans personally by going and performing a private show for them and their friends and their family. And I can tell you that the people that we met through doing that and the families that we performed for, this became lifelong friends and fans of the band and people that, that are always going to cherish or remember those memories for the rest of their lives. And so I think that this is a really valuable type of thing you can offer. And again, like you really don't need to be the most successful band in the world or have millions or hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of fans in order to do this. You can do this from scratch. There's artists that we have right now in our community that have a couple hundred people in their fan base and they're making offers for $3,000, even $5,000 for a single private party like this, right? So this is a great one. And lastly, you can have an ultimate experience where maybe you actually have a group of fans who gets to come out for a 1 to 2 week adventure with you. You go on a cruise ship together or you go on a music retreat in Bali. And so the idea here is that if you really unlock your creativity that usually apply towards your music, but you apply it towards creating these experiences and creating these really valuable offers for your fans based on things that are going to blow their mind, that they're going to find so valuable or priceless, then that's going to lead you in the right direction. And ultimately, you're going to be having conversations with your fans about all of these things, right? You want to have a sheet like this, but for your music, for your offers, and you want to be able to hop on a call or a Zoom call or have a conversation with a fan and ask them, hey, here's all the different things that I'm thinking about creating, but really I want to make sure that I'm creating something that you want, that's valuable for you. Could you let me know which of these are you most excited about and which one are you most likely to actually purchase if I offered it? And that's going to give you some good qualitative feedback on which of these things do people actually find valuable and what should you focus on creating first. And it might, if it's the right person, you might even make one of your first sales for the $1,000, $5,000 experiences by having those conversations and doing it from an actual point of view of what are you interested in? How could I serve you? What would be most exciting and most valuable for you? Hopefully that helps and kind of gives you some ideas that you can brainstorm on things that you can offer for your fans. Ultimately, one thing that I'm really excited about is helping you roll out these quote unquote music NFTs that you can offer at these different price points, because I think that the one of the downsides of the different types of offers you just walk through is that there's a fulfillment cost associated with providing each of these different offers. Whereas if you have a digital product, then your fulfillment cost can be really pretty low in order to get it out. And you can really leverage your existing music. You've already put so much time and energy and love into your artwork. And yeah, I think that's such a valuable asset that you can actually give to your fans. So I'm really excited to geek out a little bit more about the NFTs. We're going to walk through that more throughout the course of 30 days, but hopefully it's helpful to just kind of give you an outline of different ideas for what you can get started with. If you have any questions, feel free to click on the link in the description for this video, and that's going to bring you to the page where you can submit the question. And you can actually attend the live Zoom call that we do daily if you'd like. And aside from that, I haven't been asking this because I'm a newbie to doing these kinds of videos, but apparently I should be asking if you got value from this, make sure to, quote unquote, smash the like button and share it with anyone that you think might find this valuable. And yeah, until next time. Yeah!